Hi, I'm Rochelle Robinette, registered herbalist, founder of Supernatural, and your host of Plant Based. Today, I'm answering one of my most frequently asked questions, which is how to source herbs. I feel like this is the moment of truth. This is like the moment you've all been waiting for. Every time we share one of these videos, you ask, and rightfully so, where should I buy these herbs? So, my recommendations for where to get these herbs. So, locally, whenever possible, is a great idea. If you have a farmer's market or any access to people who are working in the surrounding area, even around New York, we have foragers, we have farmers, we have people who are working with the land and growing these plants. Local herb shops, local health food stores often have really good herbal sections. And then we can look at, online options. And of course, I would recommend Supernatural. That's where we are now, and we carry a lot of the herbs that I care about, but we're not the biggest distributor of herbs, so we're not right for everything. There are large sort of online destinations that are sourcing herbs from a bunch of farmers all over the world often. So that's Mountain Rose Herbs, Frontier Co-op, Star West Botanicals. You'll also find a lot of great farms, farmers, CSAs, or again, the local shops now are online. Another option is larger health food stores or grocery store chains that are, kind of in the health department, like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, for example. And those places have some quality standards in place that kind of weed out some of the things that you would also want to weed out. So there's a little bit of a filtration process that's already happened there that can be convenient if you're already shopping there too. When it comes to assessing quality, I always recommend, consider herbs and supplements in the same way that you consider your food. So what matters to you? Do you care if it came from a local farm? Do you care if it was a woman-owned farm? Do you care if it's organic? Do you want it to be directly sourced? Do you just need it to be cheap so that you can take it and have it in your life instead of not having it at all? We're going to have different standards. Now, why don't we just want to go to the corner store and grab whatever's on the shelf there? We don't want to waste our money and we don't want to harm ourselves. And usually it's more a matter of wasting money, to be honest, if we're picking up herbs or supplements that are poor quality. They may be super cheap, but they may not have been processed in a way that allows you to absorb them at all. Or they could be expired, or they may not have been stored in proper environments and so they went bad, or they don't have any of their medicinal properties left anymore. So again, it's a matter of, what are your quality standards, but knowing that ahead of time and then going out and seeking products that fit in those standards, that's the way to do this. The most expensive option is not always the best option, and especially as herbs and supplements become more and more popular, we start to pay for branding and marketing that admittedly are really attractive and really enticing and usually really clever. However, it doesn't mean that the product is the best. So we just want to be mindful that, the package that it comes in, it's not always representative of what's inside. So the way to assess that is not always by price, but again, by those quality standards. If you can't get the information that you want from the company that's selling you these herbs, it's not the right company for you. That was a lot to consider, so I'm happy to share, some of the brands that I trust that are expensive and also some that are affordable. On the higher side, is a company like Metagenics. and they produce fantastic quality supplements that I absolutely love, and I use them for tons of my clients and personally. I also love Herb Pharm, and Herb Pharm has been making tinctures for 40 years. And again, their branding is there, but like, they're not trying to be cool. They're trying to be really good, and they are really good. So I love them. I also, in thinking about this, I realized that I don't actually pay a lot of money for some of these really kind of pricey and extremely well-positioned products. And I think that it's challenging to find, but it's a wonderful sweet spot to find those companies like Rasa and Wooden Spoon Herbs and Anima Mundi and Hilma and Supernatural, who are like making a really good product and trying to keep it at an accessible price point. We've been talking about you this whole time, but it's also important to consider the plants and the ecosystem and this planet that we're taking them from, right? And there are plants, herbs that become at risk or endangered. And sometimes that happens as a result of the climate. Sometimes that happens because they get really, really popular and the demand goes through the roof, and then they become at risk of being over harvested. And many plants are in that state. So when a plant is at risk, then it's important to either buy it from a source that's cultivating it or to not buy it at all, and to use something that's an alternative. So there's a really great organization called United Plant Savers, and they list the plants that are at risk. You can go there anytime and find out what plants are at risk. You can also plant seeds of the plants that are at risk and help them like have more life. So if you're into that idea, do it. I hope this was helpful. I hope it answered your question. Make sure to check out all the links below. I'll include the names and the websites and all the details for the people and the places that I love for herbs. For more episodes of Plant Based, subscribe to Well and Good's YouTube channel. And for more herbalism, follow Rochelle Robinette on Instagram.